Hello and welcome back to my channel. In this video, we'll be looking at the bootleg version of the high-grade Universal Century Unicorn Gundam Phenex narrative version Destroy Mode with gold coating. I've already made an unboxing on a separate video. For those who hasn't seen it, here is what the box looks like. And here is Phenex built out of the box. First off, it really feels too greasy. It is common for bootlegs and I usually wash them off with water and dishwashing soap. But I didn't with this one as I might damage the metallic gold plating. But it really feels they added more grease with this one, mainly on the gold parts. Maybe to give it a better glossy finish. So anyways, the kit is mostly or at least 95% metallic gold. The plastics are not actually printed in gold color. The runners are just painted with metallic gold coating, which means there's a lot of visible knob marks. Looking from afar, you don't actually see them, but if you look closely, you can see they're all over the place. Fortunately, some are hidden. Plated plastics are actually good if the runners are undergated or not having the gates on the exposed areas. Let's start with the ones on its shoulder armors. For me, they're the most visible looking at the front side. It would be acceptable if the gates are on the sides. So you see they're really visible when you're looking at them closely. There are also some on the shoulders and on the bicep armor, in the forearms, but the ones I mentioned are the most noticeable. In here you'll see some paint bubbling on the thighs, but I like how the gold parts are executed. They have a nice metallic glossy finish. Now let's zoom in on the face. I think the facial detail is okay. It is not perfect, but they're just fine to me. The kit only has a minimal stickers, one for the eyes and on the forehead camera and on the shoulder pieces. There's supposed to be one on the forehead camera but I decided not to apply it. With regards to the plastic quality, I think this is a bit better than the Unicorn and Banshee Destroy mode that were released by Daban years ago. I don't have the Phenex made by Bandai, so I can't make a comparison with the color and texture. And this is actually the first kit coated with metallic gold plating in my collection. But just to compare this to a Bandai kit with gold colors, here is my high-grade Hyaku Shiki. For this kit, the plastics are actually printed in this color. For me, they're both good in their own ways, so I really can't tell which one is better. And I also have here the Figurized Standard Amplified Exodia. This one also have some gold parts that were actually printed. You can see it on the face, the chest, and the shoulders. Going back to Phoenix, it also has a few loose parts that likes to pop off from time to time, especially when I'm trying to put it in a different pose. Starting with the shoulders, these pieces on the sides may pop off easily. And also these pieces on the chest armor. It doesn't even have a secure connection. And on the back side, sometimes these pieces on the backpack also pops off. These parts on the forearm, you see there are gaps that doesn't want to close down. Probably because the gold plating is too thick. Enough of that. Now let's move over to the articulation. If you also have the unicorn or banshee, they all have the same articulation. Starting with the head, it is a ball joint and a neck hinge. It looks up this far and down this far. Does a full rotation The arms can extend to the side this far. There is also a hinge on the shoulder blades, so it can extend further and go up this far. The arms also rotates, a minimal butterfly joint movement. The shoulder armor can move independently, a bicep swivel, single bend elbow. I'll put this on later. Again, a single bend elbow. I'll just put that back later. The elbows can also be bent backwards. A forearm swivel, ball joint wrist. The beam tonfa on the forearm are also movable, but it doesn't want to stay in place like this. The diaphragm has a ball joint, but only a minimal movement. Waist swivel that can do a full rotation. I cut the front skirts so they can move independently from one another. The side skirts can move up this far, and a little side to side movement. The crotch piece also swivels. The legs are on a ball joint. It kicks to the front this far until it gets blocked by the front skirts. It can kick back only this far. Then it kicks to the side this far. So it cannot do a full split, only like this. There is no tie cut. Since it is a ball joint on a socket, it can kinda mimic a tie swivel. A single bend knee, but only bends 90 degrees. The ankle armor is on a hinge. The feet are on a ball joint. Moves up, down, side to side, and basically everything a ball joint does. For the accessories, a right trigger finger hand, a beam magnum. This handle is movable. This piece pops out. It connects the rifle to the backpack. Two clear blue beam saber effects. And there are four beam saber handles stored in the main body. Two on the backpack and one on each forearm. If I remember correctly, the Bandai version doesn't have the beam saber effects. A small beam shield connects to the forearm. Lastly, these two big shields. I believe these are called the Armed Armor DE. These tails have 4 points of articulation. It has a connector piece and it is mounted on the backpack. Now for a side-by-side comparison. Here it is with the last model kit I reviewed, the bootleg version of the Gundam Hazel II. If you haven't watched that review, I leave the link on the description below. Next, here it is again with the high-grade Hyakushiki from Bandai. And finally, with the high-grade Mark II Titans, also from Bandai. Now, here it is mounted with all the weapons that it comes with. By the way, this is the action base that it comes with. It cannot support the model kit's weight, so I used the one I got from Woundworth instead. If I'm gonna rate this, I'd say it would be a 7.5 out of 10, just because of its looks. It could have been a solid 9.5 or even a 10 if it had more accessories or the parts are undergated and the smaller parts doesn't pop off. It is also kinda difficult and painful to the fingers to build, and I have to make some peg holes bigger just to make the pegs fit in. Before I end this, despite all the visible knob marks and all the falling parts, I still recommend getting this one. It is a very good looking kit and with a very unique appearance. The one made by Bandai is kinda expensive nowadays. And even those also have the visible knob marks. If you wish to collect the trio of Unicorn, Banshee, and Phenex, this can be also a good substitute for the real one. That's it for this review. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up. If you have questions or suggestions, please leave a comment down below. Subscribe if you like to see more of these. If you wish to purchase this kit, I'll leave a link on the description below. Please follow our Facebook page. I'll also leave a link on the description. I'll see you on my next video. Thank you for watching.